Black Lives Matter is on the surface, but what's underneath is a cry. Society's agenda has been constructed to train people to be either average or less than average. And I say, you know what? I'm just going to write it. I'm not going to try to be perfect, because when I try to be perfect, I'm not trying to be myself. I'm just going to be myself. And inside of that was perfection. People only listen to people who they can relate to. Bro,
Up guy,
how are you?
how are you?
Freaking adjusting all over the place, loving people all over the place, coming up with solutions all over the place, and freaking creating all over the place. How are
I
you?
love it, man. We got the book right here.
I see you.
I keep
What's
forgetting
your
what they call
favorite
it.
chapter?
Dude, more than the chapters, I love the little, like, you have this artwork. I don't even know what to call it. It's so different. This book is a pretty easy read. I'm a slow reader, but at the end of every chapter, he's got like these giant messages. Sometimes they like get you right away, like a quote, but sometimes it's like it makes you think. I mean, they always make you think, but you got to think about, like, it's a little graphic, a little cartoon at the end. I love it, dude. It was such a surprise on the end of each one. Like, I'm reading through, like, oh, and then like, oh, what does this mean? It's like, all this kind of stuff. It's a refreshing take on books.
Yeah. So like, whenever I go to get my car washed, there's always these little books that's inside of the store, but they all have these big old quotes on them. And those are my favorite books to look at. They're like bursts of inspiration. So I was like, man, how can I do that? So I went into Over and I literally did every single one of them inside of an app, and I sent it to the editing people and they did it for me. But what I didn't realize is now people are reading it with their 5-year-olds and they're reading it with their 7-year-olds, and they're gravitating towards those little pages. So now the whole family can read the book together.
I like it. I did a series on my channel with Neil Pasricha, who sold 1 million+ books. And he said one of the key things that helped him is what he calls breathability. Make sure that it's easy to scan, easy to read. It's not just pure text. And you did it, man. Like, I just like it's like a little bit of candy as you're going through too. And it always connects to what was in the book or what was in the previous chapter. I mean, I'm so excited because I'm actually, like, I'm in it. I'm reading it right now, right? So I'm such a slow reader, but I like reading at least like one chapter. And so I'm about, can you see I'm like halfway through right now, getting through it. But no title on the book. Every time I'm like, oh, what's this book called again? I got to keep, at least it's on the side. Change your mindset, change your life.
Yeah. When I was working with the artist, I was like, you know what? I want to have a cover that represents my story from when I lived in my car to completely transforming my life, that you can just look at and you don't even have to know what the title is, because it tells the entire journey of transformation. And then he sent me something, and then that sparked an idea that I had, and we just kept going back and forth. And so whenever I looked at it, I went to 30 different stores to people who I didn't know. I was like, when you see this, what do you think? So I'm just asking strangers. And then this one girl at Urban Outfitters, she was like, it reminds me of like change and something about like changing your life. And I don't know, it's really cool. It's like from death to life and to change. And I was like, you're exactly the confirmation I'm looking for, because it was people who didn't know me. And I just said, what do you think? So when I put a title on the front, it took away from the art. And I'm a visual artist. And I was like, you know what? I want art to go out there. They can see the title on the back, but I just want the art to be so captivating. And so that's how, no title.
Yeah, dude, I love it. I mean, I remember when you sent me like a graphic of it before you actually had the book out. It's like just a sneak peek before, like, that's such a wild cover. And the thing that pulled me in, I mean, a lot of it makes sense, right? Like the death to the life and like the desert to the mountains and all that. Oh, cool. What I didn't get, like, so now I got you. The gears, you got like the gears and mechanics and like robot stuff into flowers. And it's like, what's that transition for you?
Okay,
what does that mean?
So the gears is robots. So when you get caught up into society's agenda has been constructed to train people to be either average or less than average. That's why whoever designed the school systems, it hasn't changed in, freaking cell phones change every 2 years, but the school system design hasn't changed. And there's 2% wealthy and the rest will die trying to figure it out. But they get them when they're like little kids, and you can domesticate a child, and whatever you agree upon as a child, you'll play out as an adult unless you wake up to new awarenesses and things like that. So that was just the robotic mainstream that a lot of people are in that don't even know that they're in, because the cemetery is not where you see the most dead people. It's when you walk around outside and you see a bunch of people where something's died inside of them because they gave up on their dream to follow the path of whatever mainstream media tries to control people. So those robotic gears were just me caught up into living a life based off of what I thought people thought I should live my life. It was like trying to play up to all the right people instead of listening to my own gifts, my own God-given talents, my own voice, my own intuitions, because everybody has it inside of them. But when you're trying to follow all these different patterns, you lose yourself in the process. So I felt like a robot. I felt dead. I felt like I was just like inside of this monotonous thing. But once I started thinking for myself, believing, listening to those voices, truly honoring what's inside of me, that's when, man, every time I followed an intuition, it led me to the result that I wanted eventually. So if it was difficult when I followed the intuition, it strengthened me and cultivated me into the kind of person that could sustain at the next level, who deserved to be at the next level.
I love it,
So that's
dude.
the death into life. Change your mindset, change your life.
You got to go pick this one up. Look this up. Change your mindset, change your life. Garrain Jones. You can't miss this cover. You can get this on Amazon, right? You can pick this up.
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon.
You won't get the custom autograph Garrain Jones extra detail, fan, but you can pick this up and it's a fun read. Dude, your place too. Like I've had tons of people on my IG lives, and your place is, every room in your place.
Yeah, I want to see
wild.
you want to see the whole thing? Have you seen the whole thing?
I take me on a tour. You took me on a tour last time, but like I'm sure there's some new stuff. I remember this room, and then you got the water on the ceiling or something.
So this room is the inspiration room, and these are people who've inspired me.
Yeah.
You got Connor. You got friggin' Jesus.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor's next to Jesus. That's funny.
Fred Smith down there?
No, that's John C. Maxwell. I mean, that's Jim. That's Jim.
Oh, Jim Rohn. Okay. John Maxwell. Yeah. Mother Teresa,
John C. Maxwell, Gandhi.
Jobs. This room was wild, dude. This room was wild.
You got Muhammad Ali, and they're quotes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got Oprah. You got Martin Luther King. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that.
Yeah.
Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one room. Hold on 1 second. Then I have a room that is called, this is the Zen room. So
I haven't seen this one.
There's like grass on the floor.
That's awesome, dude.
Somebody said, where's Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan didn't motivate me to change my life. I was inspired by his play, but nothing that he said motivated me to change my life. So I only put people there that. So this is outside in the backyard.
Yeah.
And we have, this is the affirmation room. So there's affirmations all over the wall.
Huh.
And so, I stand in love. I choose to stand in love no matter what is coming at me. So that's my wife's Peloton. And there's my bike right next to it.
Nice.
So all of that in there. And because we love taking baths, we got a huge freaking bathtub right there.
Nice.
And then, hold on 1 second. This is my favorite room. This is the sky room. So there's clouds and there's water. right there. And
Yeah.
there's Mocha Jesus. It's like a 3D version
Yeah.
all over the wall. And that's the view outside.
And did you make these, or you're collaborating with an artist, or like what's the thought process behind it?
So basically, when I was homeless, living in my car, sleeping in an abandoned building, sleeping in my storage unit 8.5 years ago, um, I heard someone say, you shouldn't do a vision board, you should do a vision environment. Like,
Mm.
so you go to your house and then you put a picture of your dream house inside of your house. You
Mm-hmm.
go into your whatever kind of car you drive, and then you put a picture of your car inside of your dream car inside of your car. So in everywhere where I was staying, what I did, because see, when you have a vision board, you have borders on it. But when you create a vision
Oh
environment, there's
snap!
no borders.
Oh snap!
You see what I'm saying?
I like
And
that.
so what happened was when I was living in my storage unit, I had a photo that I drew of my dream house, of what I wanted, what the rooms were going to look like,
Mm-hmm.
how there was going to, what they were all going to carry a different frequency and energy. But this is while I was living in my car and
Mm.
living in my storage unit. So each room, it just carries a different energy. So whenever I want to be in a specific energy, when I'm, want to charge myself up with a bunch of affirmations, I say everything on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's the inspiration room. They say you are the 5 closest people you hang out with, but they didn't say they have to be alive.
Yeah.
So, or they have to be physically in your presence. So if I keep seeing them, I'm reminded of all the impact that they've made in the world.
Mocha
Yeah.
Jesus, where did he come from?
Well, that came from a painting that I saw. But that painting that I saw when I was in second grade, someone had this adult try to drown me in this river, and as I was being like, I heard about all these different people. All these kids that were dying in the neighborhood in Missouri City. They were being drowned by these adults. I didn't know who they were. So one day I was playing baseball, and I was in second grade, and these guys that were my cousin's friends, and I knew them. It's like, oh, there's some fish in the bayou or whatever. And I was a big fisherman. So I went to the bayou, and everybody was telling me, don't go, don't go. And then they were saying, you got to look closer. And as soon as he said, you got to look closer, that's when I put it together that these are the guys that are drowning all the kids. And they threw me into the river. And then I was getting sucked up into a tunnel. Anything that goes into a tunnel is going to die. I got sucked up, but I got flipped upside down because of a whirlpool. So I'm in the water, getting sucked into the tunnel, already underwater. A hand reaches in the water, pulls me out, just enough for me to come out. I look up and I see no one. And all my life, I was like, who was that hand? Because I never saw anyone. When I saw that painting of the Jesus reaching through the water, I was like, oh my God, that's what I want on the ceiling. So that's
Yeah.
how that came about.
That's wild. And that's your bedroom, right?
Yeah.
That's what you wake up to every day. That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get that idea, then what? Like, did you paint that yourself, or you hire a
So
local artist, or
no.
what?
So there was a person that just would comment on stuff on my Instagram, and there's a guy named Chad, and then all of a sudden I didn't know he was an artist. I just always, anybody who comments or anything, I just go on their page. I went on this page and I saw all of this crazy work. I didn't know him, but I reached out and I said, how would you like to fly to LA, get
Snap.
paid, stay at my house, and paint a mural of Mocha Jesus on my ceiling? He was like, oh my God, I'm such a fan. And I was just crazy. But what was awesome is he said, this is the first time in my life anybody's ever believed in me like this. And since then, he's blown up so big. it was the most beautiful thing that has happened. So, um,
That's what's up, man.
hold on. So we got the staircase that has, you know, the books, and
Uh-huh.
then you have "You Are Powerful" right there.
Nice.
This was at me and my wife's wedding.
Nice.
That was a fire dancer. There's freaking artwork. Change your mindset, change your life. This is our kitchen. And hold on one second. These stairs here go all
Uh-huh.
the way up, to the backyard. And then this is like a little resting area here.
Cool, man.
But then there's like a day bed. There's my wife in there.
Oh, hello. Hello. Where did you write the book?
I wrote it all over. Listen, I could write a book on the process that it took for me to write that book, because I tried every way possible. I tried to hire a ghostwriter. I was like, man, I don't even believe this because it don't sound like my words. I hired a developmental editor. I tried this. I tried that. I was like, man, I'm gonna write myself.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
it
It
was,
sounds like you. I was just saying, like this sounds like your lives.
yeah. When it came to my book, I was just like, the hardest part was trying to, I have to be this way. I gotta sound like an author.
Yeah.
I gotta sound like this. And I was like, man, what do people really like about the message that I share? Because I don't give it. Like, I'm so raw with it.
Mm.
And then I said, you know what? I'm gonna write a book that feels like somebody has a friend. That somebody's like, you got somebody that's like right there. And when I got clear on that, it took me a week. It took me 5 years
Snap.
to write the perfect book. But then once I got clear, I was like, I'm just going to get the information out, and I want it to sound exactly how I talk, who I'm trying to reach. Like, I wasn't trying to reach Tony Robbins. I'm trying to reach the people who don't usually write books. So I need to write it in a way that's really simple.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people who've never read books before, they're like, man, your book was the first book I ever read. Thank you so much. And I'm like, you're the person who I was trying to reach. But if anybody else relates to it, that's what happens. But that whenever I just really buckled in, I said, you know what? I'm just going to write it. I'm not going to try to be perfect, because when I try to be perfect, I'm not trying to be myself. I'm just going to be myself. And inside of that was perfection.
Yeah. Nice, dude. I love it. Well, it's a great read, guys. Go pick it up. Look, that's how you spell it. Garrain Jones. Go look it up. Change your mindset, change your life. Hey, before we pop off, any quick message for what's going on now, like how you're dealing with it?
And you can never understand what it's like living inside of a black person's body and experiencing what they experience. So you can only know from my perspective, because everybody can look at the same thing and see something totally different. But for me, someone who's experienced racism still to this day, literally my entire life, and somebody was like, whoa, you're massively successful. I was like, but I still experience, so it's like the undertones of it, For me, it's about bringing awareness. I don't take a lot of things personal because I've done a lot of work. I've done freaking masters in spiritual psychology, freaking deep soul-hearted work, 10-day silent retreats, all kind of things. Most people don't have that. So only people only know how to express themselves in a way that's normal to them. So when you take a society and then you suppress them for 400 years and then say you're free, there's actually not freedom in that if they don't have a concept of freedom. And there's no, the culture was never reformed. So we got to find a way to express ourselves through music, through fashion, through all these different things. And on the other side is people say, oh no, it's all lives matter, all lives matter. But you got to understand, Black people have never been a part of the conversation from the context of dignity in a systemic way, which is why all the Black people, so many Black people are in prisons and all these different things. But so many people that I know won't look at that. It's like they have this one narrative, and then it's like, but why is everybody so screaming? And so this is my take on everything. Imagine a baby, if anybody knows how children work, that's saying, Mom, 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 and they're trying to get your attention. Mom, Mom, Mom. And then the parent not acknowledging the child's cries. Eventually, that child's cries is going to turn to rage and anger. And if you keep ignoring that child, there will be, from an emotional content standpoint,